Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Catskills. Our minister is Reverend Bob Janice Dillon. I am Elizabeth Thomas, the worship associate for this morning. A big welcome to everyone. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We are guided by a set of principles and written sources that encompass the many ways we come to know and understand the world, the universe, and the divine. Our principles are important to us at UU Catskills, and we live our values on a daily basis. We acknowledge that our sanctuary is built on Lenni Lenape land. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. If you would like to contact someone at UU Catskills, for those attending online, which is everyone, a contact list is shown on your screen. You can also visit our website, uucatskills.org, to find contact information. Also, to be added to the mailing list and to find the latest newsletter. If you are a visitor and would like to be added to our mailing list, you can put your name and email address in the chat box area. For information about our upcoming events, we encourage you to read our monthly newsletter distributed by email or check out the website. The announcements are also displayed prior to the service. Just so everyone is aware, Constance Rudd is currently in Northern Dutchess Hospital as she broke her hip. Kathy Eberlein is going to put the room telephone number in the chat if you would like to call her. Thanks to everyone who is assisting with today's service. Our Zoom tech host for this week is Tom Hackett. Please stay for a virtual coffee break after today's service, or get in your cars really quickly to come on over to the sanctuary for the family hour, 2 hours, I think. At this time, I invite you to close out of any other windows or programs that you may have open on your computer, phone, or other device. Settle in and arrive as we begin this sacred time together. Throughout today's service, I invite you into a time of memorial and remembrance, a time of honoring those who are gone and those who grieve. If you are someone who is grieving, know you are held in this space by the loving faces you see on the screen. If you are someone who is not grieving, please extend your support through the universe for those within the congregation who need it the most. For our prelude this morning, I will be performing Gracefully, written by Island Nerio and the Polish ambassador. This is a song that I performed at the memorial service for my niece, Ophelia Lennox Thomas, in 2019. Gracefully falling down like a river, like the water running on, moving the mountainside. You are stronger, you can shape it. Gracefully falling down like a river, like the water running on, moving the mountainside. You are stronger, you can shape it as you gaze to the fire, to the fire. So be made, stream and amber into spire. Circle of stones, mold is broken, so you can hold them, so you can hold all these bones of old. Stories spoken, so you can be them, so we can breathe. In like a wave, out like a sighing, catch it on a wave, deep into your longing. Trench of tears offered open so you can give them, so you can give to the ocean old moving moments so we can hear them, so we can hear all these aching songs, ancient swimmers, keepers of balance, givers of sound. Time begins, still they are weaving, so we can find them, so we be found. Gracefully falling down like a river, like the water running on, moving the mountainside. You are stronger, you can shape it. Please take a moment to get your chalice. Let us join our voices and our light together as we say, we light this chalice in grateful, loving community. Even in the darkest of times, may its flame light paths of courage, justice, and hope. Let us now come together for our unison affirmation, joining our hearts as we say, may we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other.
An Affirmation of Those Who Have Lost by James E. Miller. I believe there's no denying it. It hurts to lose. It hurts to lose a cherished relationship with another or a significant part of oneself. It can hurt to lose that which has united one with the past or that which has beckoned one into the future. It is painful to feel diminished or abandoned, to be left behind or left alone. Yet, I believe there's more to losing than just the hurt and the pain, for there are other experiences that loss can call forth. I believe that courage often appears, however quietly it is expressed, however easily it goes unnoticed by others. The courage to be strong enough to surrender, the fortitude to be firm enough to be flexible, the bravery to go where one has not gone before. I believe a time of loss can be a time of learning, unlike any other, and that it can teach us some of life's most valuable lessons. In the act of losing, there is something to be grasped. In the act of saying goodbye, there is a hello to be heard. For I believe that living with loss is about beginnings as well as endings, and grieving is a matter of life more than death, and growing is a matter of mind and heart and soul more than of body, and love is a matter of eternity more than time. Finally, I believe in the promising paradoxes of loss. In the midst of darkness, there can come a great light. At the bottom of despair, there can appear a great hope. And deep within loneliness, there can dwell a great love. I believe these things because others have shown the way. Others who have lost and then have grown through their losing. Others who have suffered and then found new meaning. So I know I am not alone. I am accompanied day and night, night after day, by those who have gone before me.
Thank you to Jenny. So today's opening song is Wanting Memories. The following video was produced by Raise Your Voice Lab, a creative culture transformation company that helps organizations, companies, and communities realign and re-engage around a shared vision in these turbulent times through creating beautiful collaborative videos that showcase music as the heart of conversation and change. This video is a performance of the song, Wanting Memories, written by Isaye Barnwell. In it, she describes the grief of a child for a parent who has died.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you. Now I need you. And you are gone. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Now that you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have few things that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember all that I was told. I am
Bring me all your dreams, you dreamers. Bring me all your heart melodies, that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth.
Yes, I am sitting here
Far from the too rough fingers of the world.
to see the beauty.
Bring me all your dreams, you dreamers.
Take on the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think on the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think on the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. I think on these things, for they are true. I am sitting here
Wanting Memories.
Today's story, that is not for children only, is the picture book called The Invisible String, written by Patrice Karst. It tells the story of twins who learn from their mother that we are all connected by invisible strings of love. Enjoy.
The Invisible String. Liza and Jeremy, the twins, were asleep one calm and quiet night. Suddenly, it began to rain very hard. Thunder rumbled until it got so loud that it woke them up. "Mommy, Mommy," they cried out as they ran to her. "Don't worry, you two. It's just the storm making all that noise. Go back to bed." "We want to stay close to you," said Jeremy. "We're scared." Mom said, "You know we're always together, no matter what." "But how can we be together when you're out here and we're in bed?" said Liza. Mom held something right in front of them and said, "This is how." Rubbing their sleepy eyes, the twins came closer to see what Mom was holding. "I was about your age when my mommy first told me about the invisible string." "I don't see a string," said Jeremy. "You don't need to see the invisible string. People who love each other are always connected by a very special string made of love." "But if you can't see it, how do you know it's there?" asked Liza. "Even though you can't see it with your eyes, you could feel it with your heart and know that you are always connected to everyone you love. When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the string until I feel a tug on my heart. And when you tug it right back, we feel it in our heart," said Jeremy. "Does Jasper the cat have an invisible string?" Liza asked. "She sure does," said Mom. "And best friends like me and Lucy?" asked Liza. "Best friends too. How far can the string reach?" "Anywhere and everywhere," Mom said. "Would it reach me even if I were a submarine captain deep in the ocean?" asked Jeremy. "Yes," Mom said, "even there." "Or a mountain climber?" "Even there." "A dancer in France?" "Even there." "A jungle explorer?" "Even there." "How about an astronaut out in space?" "Yes, even there." Then Jeremy quietly asked, "Can my string reach all the way to Uncle Brian in heaven?" "Yes, even there." "Does the string go away when you're mad at us?" "Never," said Mom. "Love is stronger than anger, and as long as love is in your heart, the string will always be there." Even when you get older and can't agree about things like what movie to see, or what game to play in the back seat, or what time to go to bed. "Oh, that's right, you two should be in bed." And with that, they all laughed as Mom chased the twins back to their beds. Within a few minutes, they were asleep, even though the storm was still making the same loud noises outside. As they slept, they started dreaming of all the invisible strings they have, and all the strings their friends have, and their friends have, and their friends have, until everyone in the world was connected by invisible strings, and from deep inside, they now could clearly see. No one is ever alone.
At this time, I invite you to come to a comfortable seat. If closing your eyes feels right, please do so. Otherwise, find a soft gazing point and allow your eyes to rest gently. As we gather in this moment of quiet stillness, I invite you to think of anyone who you are grieving. Those who you hold in your heart, who you are connected to by your own invisible strings. In this moment of remembrance, allow whatever thoughts and feelings arise to simply be, without judgment and without expectation. As Rumi tells us in the guest house, welcome and entertain them all. Be grateful for whatever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. October's half-plate collection will be shared with Harambee of Kingston. Harambee is a Mid-Hudson Valley coalition that supports and promotes the strength of our community through cultural and educational events that enriches the lives of youth and adults. The offertory song is Sand and Water by Beth Nielsen Chapman. Beth is a singer-songwriter who drew from her lived experience of the death of her husband to create the album of the same name, Sand and Water.
All alone, I didn't like the feeling. All alone, I sat and cried. All alone, I had to find some meaning in the center of the pain I felt inside. All alone, I came into this world. All alone, I will someday die. Solid stone is just sand and water, baby. Sand and water, and a million years gone by. I will see you in the light of 1,000 suns. I will hear flesh and bone, he's just bursting towards tomorrow, and his laughter fills my world. And where's your smile? I will see you in the light of 1,000 suns. I will hear you in the sound of the waves. I will know you when I come, as we all will come through the doors beyond the grave. All alone I came into this world. All alone I will someday die. Solid stone is just sand and water, baby. Sand and water, and a million years gone by. Thank you.
There is a 1980 book written by Judy Tattlebaum entitled The Courage to Grieve. According to a quick Google search, that book seems like a great resource for grieving individuals, but I want to be very clear. This sermon is not that book. It's not even excerpts from that book. I will simply be sharing some of the truth that I learned companioning the bereaved along their journeys of grief, mostly that it takes great courage to grieve. As a member of the worship committee, I was tasked with curating today's service. While reading through the Soul Matters service prep material, my spirit resonated with the readings about ordinary courage. Ordinary meaning the type of courage that you see in daily life that isn't reserved for heroes of Marvel comics, nor those going into war. Instead, as Anne Sexton writes in her poem Courage, it's in the small things we see, the child's first step, the first time you rode a bike. This got me thinking. I see this ordinary courage every day at my job. Why not take the time and honor it? I am a clinical social worker. Although I currently practice psychotherapy with people of all walks of life, sorry. And faith too. I previously worked for hospice for 5 years. During that time, I worked with both the dying and the bereaved. It allowed me to show up every day with my honest blend of therapeutic support, spirituality, and love. What drew me to the work was recognizing that it is the great equalizer in this world. Everyone who has ever lived has only two things in common. We are born and we die. No matter what life path a person follows, they will one day die. And yet in our death-denying American culture, this continues to catch us off guard. Because of this, it is so important to bring death and grief out of the shadows and into the light. Grief is the natural human response to a loss. While I will be focusing on those who experienced the death of a loved one, I want to name that anytime something changes, there is grief. For any time something changes, there is a loss of what was. Given that things are constantly changing, we are faced with grief throughout our lives. Whatever grief you are experiencing today, know that it is held in this space. While watching the HBO series Watchmen, I was struck by a line in the episode A God Walks Into a Bar. When discussing where their love story would end, Dr. Manhattan says to Angela, "Isn't the nature of all relationships that they're destined for tragedy?" I paused, I thought, and I realized, yes, this blue-tinged godlike superhero is right. We are all destined to say goodbye to every person we love. Whether we are the person who dies or we are the one who is left, none of us get out of this life thing without the pain of loss. Because we all share in the great pain of life, it is so important that we meet each other with ongoing love and compassion for the grief that we all carry. Those who grieve are courageous, and because we are all destined to grieve, we are all courageous. The bereaved are courageous because they are the ones left to live a life that is forever changed. I don't mean to sound callous or uncaring, but the person who died is, well, dead. Regardless of what you believe about death and any potential hereafter, those who have died have left this plane of existence. The person who is grieving, though, they remain. They remain to keep living without the other person. They remain to keep living with the pain of loss. If you were to experience all of your grief at once, you would drown in it. Thankfully, our psyche is able to portion out the grief we experience, giving us moments of distraction and reprieve. But that doesn't mean that the journey is easy. Grief is overwhelming and unbounded. It can affect the bereaved in every facet of life, emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. It is an exhaustingly complicated roller coaster of emotions. It would be so nice if grief really were 5 stages and we knew what was going to come next. That if we traversed the stages and completed them, we would find closure to our grief. But sorry, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, it just doesn't work like that. The human heart is far too complicated to follow a roadmap for loss, and there is no closure to grief. Without a roadmap, we are each tasked to find our own path through our unique emotions. Antonio Machado's poem so eloquently speaks to this. Traveler, your footprints are the only road, nothing else. Traveler, there is no road. You make your own path as you walk. As you walk, you make your own road, and when you look back, you see the path you will never travel again. It can be an incredibly scary journey, not knowing what is ahead and what emotion the next month, week, day, hour, or even minute will bring. With so much uncertainty, it can be hard to keep going. That is why those who grieve are incredibly courageous individuals. The process is unpredictable. You don't know when you'll be triggered by a sight, a smell, a sound, a song, a day, a gesture. And yet the bereaved keep going. They keep living their lives as they carry incredible pain and sorrow within them. I wish I could say that grief ended, but one of the hard truths is that it lasts a lifetime. You've probably heard the saying, grief is the price of love. When we stop and really think about this, a question arises. Are you willing to pay that price? If given the choice, would you prefer to never have grief, but only because you never have love, or have the love along with the grief? I have yet to meet someone who said that they would rather never have love. And thus, we are left with the pain when the person who held that love is gone. Love doesn't die just because the person dies. One part of the relationship is still alive, you. As long as the relationship continues through memories, remembrance, and that love, grief will also continue. Please do not lose heart. How we experience grief changes over time. In a TED Talk given by Susan Delaney, she describes how we are each a container. Imagine grief as a stress ball-like thing that is being forced and squeezed into our container. At first, it is overflowing, barely able to make it into the container. As time goes on, the size of the grief doesn't change. After all, we have lost a loved one. That pain never truly goes away. Instead, the container grows. We grow bigger and more capable of holding the grief inside. As we grow and expand, the grief gets smaller, but not because it changes, but because our capacity to hold it changes. We change. One of the biggest lessons I learned from working with the bereaved is the power of both and. I recognized this concept early in my work. I witnessed many caregivers talk about both the pain of their grief and also a sense of relief. It wasn't until I had a member of one of the groups I facilitated name the term both and. It became almost a mantra of sorts as I began to recognize it time and again. Grief has this amazing way of allowing things that would seem contradictory to exist in the same space. What a beautiful thing. To recognize that much of what we consider opposing can actually be held together if we give it the space and presence to meet it without judgment and without fear. For those of you who have loved ones who are grieving, it can be difficult to know how to support them. I would like to highlight one way of offering support that is often overlooked: supportive silence. There's no way around it. Grief is uncomfortable. So many of the emotions people experience while they are grieving are the ones that we spend our lives trying not to feel. To be with someone who is grieving is a lesson in sitting with the discomfort of others. You will feel helpless, not knowing what to say or do. But I found that the best thing to do is simply to be. Not to offer platitudes without substance or try to find the right thing to say. There isn't anything to say that can take away the pain or make the situation better. And many of the things people do say often hurt. He's no longer suffering. She lived a good life. They are in a better place. You had so many years together. None of those statements take away the pain that the dead are no longer here. Because grief is so uncomfortable, those offering support and condolences often want to move through it quickly. They try to fix the situation and the grieving person's emotions. This invalidates the person who is grieving and makes them feel even more isolated and alone. I invite you to consider the alternative of offering supportive silence. This can be so powerful. We all want our truth to be heard. It is a basic human need. Bearing witness to another person's pain without striving to talk it away is an incredibly loving, supportive, and healing gesture. The simplest way to do this is to say, I am here to be with you, however you show up. Just as we did during the meditation and contemplation, I would like us to pause in silence for a few moments. In this silent space, I offer you the presence of all of those joining today. We are here to be with each other, however we show up. I could talk about grief all day, as I have so much more to share. But for now, I will leave you with words from 2 poems. Courage doesn't always roar, writes Mary Ann Radmacher. She continues, sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. This type of courage is what the bereaved silently show us every day. It is the same courage that Ellen Bass writes about, sharing, to love life, to love it even when you have no stomach for it, and everything you've held dear crumbles like burnt paper in your hands. Our closing song for today is called In Dreams by Jai Jagdish. As you listen to this song, allow it to be a prayer for all those you have lost, as well as for yourself. Know you are loved. Rest in peace.
Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Beloved child, my heart is yours. Beloved child, doors with your love, with your faith, with your compassion, with your grace, oh, with your grace. Beloved child, you are the light of the world. Beloved child, go out, spread light to the world. Be strong, be kind, be brave. Know your mind, know that you're divine. Know that it's alright to be afraid. in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released.
Our closing words for today are an excerpt from Gregory Orr's Concerning the Book that is the Body of the Beloved. Not to make loss beautiful. Not to make loss beautiful, but to make loss the place where beauty starts, where the heart understands for the first time the nature of its journey. Love, yes, the body of the beloved as the gift bestowed, but only temporarily, given freely, but now to be earned, given without thought, and now loss has made us thoughtful. Let us extinguish our chalices, bringing our sacred time of reflection to a close. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Please remember to stay if you are interested in joining a breakout room for coffee hour. Thank you all.
Thank you, Liz.
Oh, and also don't forget that there's also the family time here starting at noon. If anyone's interested, pumpkin painting and fun festivities, lunch is provided. Head on over.
It was a beautiful service. Take care.